Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am sharing part 1 of my 2-part lunch series. This video is all about my multi-grain rice mix. Not only is it packed with fiber, I've also included a little hack on how to reduce the impact of white rice on your blood sugar. So if you're looking for meal prep ideas, ways to incorporate fiber into your diet, please keep watching. This is what we are using for our mixed rice. They say that for New Year's resolutions, you should start small. And I love rice, but I wanted to incorporate more whole grains into my diet. So we are making a mixed rice concoction. This is everything that I have. I have some pearl millet. This is one of the most important grains in West Africa. We use it for a lot of things. It's very high in fiber. I will be listing all of the nutritional benefits of all of these grains in the blog post accompanying this recipe. So we have some pearl millets, and it's kind of close cousin sorghum. So I have this sorghum that I got from Ghana. It is red. I think the red is just the skin. There's so many different types of sorghum. I like the red ones because it has a nice color, and you don't really get this here in Canada. You can get the white ones though, so sorghum is not hard to find. And then I have some regular brown rice that my mother got from the grocery store. And then now this is indigenous West African rice. If you're not too familiar, West Africa has its own indigenous rice variety. It's one of 2 indigenous Oryzia genus or Oryzia family rice. So yes, this is indigenous to West Africa. It tastes just like rice. The defining factor for indigenous West African rice is how red streaky it is. So you find a lot of them that are red. That is our type of brown rice. So yes, this I brought with me from Ghana, but there are a couple of African stores that will carry indigenous rice. Please don't confuse it with ofada rice. Ofada rice is a different style of Nigerian indigenous rice that they've processed differently. But yes, this is just local Ghanaian brown rice. And when the rice is hulled, you can get this. And this is indigenous West African rice too, but this is a white variety. Essentially, it has been hulled. The thing with our rice is that it breaks very, very easily. That's also another major difference between this and the Asian variety. It tastes and cooks just like jasmine rice. It is soft, it is delicious. Even though it's white, if you look closely, there are some red streaks in here. So this is our rice mix. Obviously, use whatever you want. You can use jasmine rice for this. You don't need the indigenous red rice. You can double the brown rice. You can use sorghum instead of millet. You can use just millet. It is all up to your personal preference. In the blog post, I'm going to be leaving some details on how to make adjustments based on substitutions. I'm going to give the rice a very good wash. Some of the ones I brought from Ghana probably have stones in there. That's also probably why it's not popular. So I'm going to give this a good wash, and then we will get to cooking. I'm going to start by washing the harder grains on a normal basis. Sorghum and millet, if you cook from dry without soaking, should take you about 50 minutes. So I have my sorghum, millet, and local brown rice. So washing these, you are trying to get the stones. We will fill it with water. The stones will sink to the bottom, and we'll just gradually scoop out the grains. You can see that it's already dirty. To be very honest with you, the amount of work that it takes to clean our grains is probably why a lot of people don't patronize it as much as we should. Small disclaimer, I only use this cleaning method for grains that I've personally purchased from Ghana. If you purchase these grains from your local Indian store, health food store, or even African stores outside of Africa, the grains will be clean. All you need to do is rinse them well and then cook with them. So I'll look for any stones, or there's going to be a lot of raffages because the sorghum is really unpolished. So look through them. I'll wash it again because there's a lot of dirt in here, the rice.
While I clean these grains, let's talk a little bit more about multigrain rice. So multigrain rice is a mix of rice with some grains, and some people add legumes. For a while, my mom used to mix white rice and brown rice, and during my undergrad times, on occasion, I would buy pre-made multigrain rice mixes. I usually get it from my local Asian store or my local bulk barn. And if you don't know what bulk barn is, it's basically a chain of bulk food stores. That's kind of how I've been enjoying multigrain rice over the course of the years. But two things happened this year that has made me more focused on making it myself. One, I want to eat more fiber. As someone who has some gut health issues, it has significantly gotten better over the years. Adding more fiber is always beneficial for me, not just soluble fiber like psyllium husk, but insoluble fiber that you find in grains and brown rice and things like that. Two, I was testing a bunch of recipes for my cookbook and accumulated a lot of grains. It's always nice for me to have sorghum and millet in my pantry, but the amounts of sorghum and millets that I have accumulated is just too much. So to feed two birds with one stone, I have started making multigrain rice mix. So every 2 weeks or maybe every month, depending on how much I made before, I would cook a big batch, portion them out into individual or 2 people portions, and then freeze it. In addition to all of that fiber I'm getting from the grains, the good thing about cooking white rice this way is that you get retrograde, or what they call resistant starch type 3. Essentially, some of the sugar molecules in the rice reform into complex structures that when you eat it, the enzymes that are usually breaking down the sugar in your small intestines will not be able to break down everything. It basically is a dietary fiber. It will pass through your small intestine without being digested, and then it will get to your large intestine where the bacteria will break it down in the fermentation process, and then you also get these byproducts that are really good for many systems in your body. It also promotes things like satiety and affects your cardiovascular health, your immune system health. These are such complex systems that I don't have time to break them down. But the blog post will have links if you want to do some further research. So yes, resistant starch, it doesn't mean that your blood sugar is not going to spike, but it is not going to be as bad as it could be. So we'll take whatever we can get, and that's why I'm enjoying multigrain rice more often.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it well, but yeah, so this is all the debris I got out, and you can see all the stones that are kind of sitting at the bottom. They could have ended up in my food and I would have chewed on them. Okay. I'm going to add my brown rice, and I'll wash this again, and then we will boil it. Okay, so we are going to boil it with double the amount of water to grains. This will boil at low heat for 20 minutes. Yes, my rice has been boiling for 20 minutes now, so I'm going to add in the white rice. I have washed it and add that in there. For every cup of white rice I will add a third cup. So there's 2 cups of white rice in here. I'll add 2/3 cup. Okay. Mix this well. Then I will add a paper towel on top, and then we will let it boil for another 20 minutes. I hope the pot is big enough.
Our multigrain rice is ready. It is super fluffy. The rice is not too soft. The grains are not too hard. Everything is perfectly cooked. I have a simple ratio that I use to cook all of my multigrain rice, and that can be found in the recipe blog post that is linked below. So now that my rice is cooked, it is time to package and serve it. I'm gonna serve it because for video purposes, I want to make it look all nice and I have to take a picture for the blog post. But ideally, I would just be packing this into a Tupperware or into little Ziploc bags after it has cooled down, or into little ice cube trays, and then putting it in the freezer for the freezer to do its job. So this multigrain rice can be used for so many different things. It's going to be the basis of my next video, which is all about lunchtime recipes. You can use it to make fried rice. You can serve it with your sauces, your stews. You can add it to your salads. The possibilities are endless. So if you want to catch my next video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, give this video a big thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a video. I will see you soon. Bye.